Am I stuffed? The lunch I just ate probably was about 2,000 calories. We're gonna count the calories live. We're gonna count them live. This was not a good idea, but in the grand scheme of things, I skipped breakfast. I didn't. What was the last thing I ate last night? I don't remember. Think. Last night, I was hungry. Oh, I ate candy. They have these like LED or these like laser type pops. They're basically like them little push pop candy things. You remember the little push pops you used to put on your finger back in the 80s and the 90s? You know, you got that one. So they changed the toy or the candy, and they made it a toy. It's like a laser pop on the top with emoji faces, and you take that part off, and there's a little sugar. It's just a block of sugar, basically. I had blue raspberry, and I had some other flavor. I mean, the candy wasn't exceptional or anything. I did get it from a gas station, and the gas station charged me $3.09 for candy. A little small block of candy, a cylinder's like that big. And if you can't tell, well, you probably can't tell for frame of reference. Let me give y'all a frame of reference. So this right here, this is the little Starbucks thing that I had, can of Starbucks. It's 15 ounces, so it was about that big, if that makes sense. Here's another one. Here's a little spoon. So it was like that much, maybe half of the spoon. But anyway, that's what I had. I had that last night. For lunch, you saw the 200 calorie Starbucks, and then I had a bag of these. Let me count how many wings there were in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a lot of them. Let me see if I can find they don't have any information. Oh, I'm living foul. So all I know is I had nearly a pound of wings. 0.71 pounds of wings, guys. That's how much barbecue glazed wings that I had. And it doesn't have a health. Like, they're supposed to tell you how many calories, the ingredients. It don't have none of that on this bag. I bought it from the commissary, nevertheless. And I ate all of them. This probably could have fed 2 people, honestly, if we're being honest. Then, on top of that, I had this, which also, oh, does it? Nope, this also doesn't have any, I didn't even realize that when I bought it. But this was a $16 lunch that I had today. This is 0.63 pounds. Thank you for them thumbs up, y'all. And since I'm driving hands-free, I'm probably not going to be in the comments today, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to read them whenever I get to where I'm going. So bear with me. Stick around. But yeah, 0.63 pounds, 0.71 pounds, and I had this almost 16 ounces, which we know 16 ounces is a pound. And then, but this is actually what I wanted to talk about, because yesterday on the live stream, I had another flavor. Today, this is Calbee pizza potato chips, and it's called melty cheese pizza potato chips. What does it say? It says, okay, first let me read the Japanese here. It says, oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah, I don't even know what that say. I forgot. That's P. I don't know, y'all. I forgot. I don't know what that says. Pizza? It might say pizza. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know, y'all. I'm sorry. It might say potato. I think that's what it says. No, it's not. It doesn't say potato. I forgot. Anybody know how to read Japanese? It's 3 a.m. in Poland. Shout out to Poland. Shout out to Poland. Y'all on the front lines of the next World War III. Keep holding it down. Prayers for Ukraine. That, it don't spill over Ukraine. Because y'all know y'all next. And I know y'all ready. Because y'all been training. But, yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I really do wish that we see a cease of suffering, because it's ridiculous. We're being ridiculous. Like, I feel like we have toddlers running the country. Like, our world leaders behaving like toddlers. I don't know if y'all saw in the news today, the president of the United States shared something on Truth Social Media, and I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just stating facts. But the president of the United States, he shared a video or a still image of the former president, Barack Hussein Obama, and his wife, Michelle Obama. And their faces were superimposed on primate bodies. It was not human bodies. I think it was orangutan bodies. And so, this is this is an example of, this is, I'm trying to say this. I'm not gonna get in trouble. But I'm gonna just lay out the facts for y'all. That's what happened. Okay? Thank you. Jesus loves you too. So I'm gonna just lay them facts out there, because that's what happened. We have a leader of, they used to call it the leader of the free world, but I mean, debatable. But the leader of the United States, that's what he did. And he decided to put on basically his own social media, the portrayal of a black president and black first lady as a primate. Let that sink in. I'm gonna let that sit there. I'm gonna let that, I don't drink or anything like that, but I'm gonna let that just, let that breathe. And so, this month is Black History Month. This is, it's Black History. Barack Hussein Obama was the first African-American president in the United States. And, the press secretary, that job, I'm sure, is a rewarding job. And it probably is an opportunity of a lifetime. But I'm going to tell you, I just think she's doing an incredible amount of mental gymnastics, because you have to be very creative to make things that are stories into non-stories. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, I'm careful when I speak, because I'm not trying to be disparaging or anything. I'm just talking facts. I'm not editorializing anything, and these represent my opinions, and no one else's. These are my opinions. But there's something called prestige. And government, elected leaders, it's a very prestigious position, because you have, in a democracy, you have a majority of people that you are assigned to represent that say, we want you as our leader, and we want you to represent us as a people to the world. And so just let that, I'm gonna throw that out there. Let that sink in. Let that breathe. So I saw that, and I was very disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, I was very disappointed. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised. Because one thing that I do know, there's something called sleight of hand. Magicians use it. And what they do is they'll do movements to, I'm sorry, I don't have a hands-free device, but it's called sleight of hand. And what they'll do is they will take your attention from one spot by different movements, and they'll get you distracted, and then they'll have you looking in an area where nothing is actually happening. But while you're looking there, you're not seeing what is actually happening. And so that's kind of what that reminded me of, like a sleight of hand almost. Like it's nothing. In the grand scheme of things, putting a person's face on a animal. Now, the press secretary, she said, well, if you saw the whole video, you would see that there were multiple elected officials that were depicted as jungle animals, with the president being depicted as the king of the jungle. Okay? And so anytime, I feel like from a logic standpoint, or just from a reasonable standpoint, anytime where you have to start breaking down and I just felt like it was a weak argument that she was trying to bring up, because you don't have the luxury of being unclear in certain positions. That luxury, you have to be very clear and very precise when you speak and when you communicate. And so when you leave things up to individuals' interpretation, a lot of people can infer, maybe you didn't intend that, but when you leave room, you create that opportunity. And I don't know, I just, some people you can take them for their word, and others you just take at face value. It's just like, okay, that's what you say, whatever. But anyway, I don't necessarily want to focus on that. I did want to count these calories, but I'm a little bit irritated because there's no calories listed on the wings. But I mean, if you're eating 0.75 or 0.71 pounds of worth of wings, that's got to be a lot of calories, I would assume. So, yeah, I ate that many calories, and I came on here because I was going to do like this little review. Excuse me. All of the lunch is bubbling. But I was going to do a little review of this, but I am so full right now. I honestly don't feel like doing it. I feel like I'm about to pop, actually. That's if we talk about how we feel. It's a Friday, and thank God it's Friday. Because this week wasn't long or anything, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's something about the weekend that just, it do something to me. That weekend hit, and it's like, woo! Party! Yeah! I don't have to wake up at 4:30, cracker. Yeah, my bad. So, by and large, we did not put that man into the position. this was, it's very interesting because you had a high amount of Latino males and a pretty high amount of Latina females that they voted Republican. And so to me, that was very, very interesting. And it demonstrated a shift, like a historical shift. Like, hey, you guys are no longer, the Democrats, you're no longer speaking for the minorities. And it's really fascinating to me how you'll have people of, and again, I'm just based from some things that I've observed. I don't know what the entire group or the numbers, I don't know, I don't have numbers in front of me. But it just is fascinating to me when I see a person that has immigrated here from, one of these Central American or South American countries, and they done it legally. It's interesting to see how their view is of people that have done it illegally. And it seems like a forgetting of what the situation was. Like, hey, there was a reason why you went through the process to get here. Whether if you did it or if your parents did it or if your grandparents did it, there's a reason why you guys left. And I don't know. The thing for me is like when I see, there was a video, it was kind of viral, where you had this ICE agent and he's like, he's like, if you raise your voice, I'll erase your voice. He said that. And I'm like, dude, you speaking with such an accent. Like, do you understand if you didn't have that uniform on, if you were like minding your brown business somewhere, like you literally are a target? Why are you doing what you're doing? And then they announced that, this is ironic, I'm sorry. It's how my mind works. Then they announced the bonuses that, like the average amount of the bonus that these folks were receiving. In 2025, the average amount of the bonus that these ICE workers were receiving was in some cases more than people actually made an entire year. In a lot of cases. The average amount, y'all, $42,000. Imagine you work for a few months in a position, and at the end of the year, you receive a $42,000 bonus. Imagine that. I saw that, I was like, bro. I was like, I need to, do I need to sign up for ICE? And then it all made sense. It's like, they have incentivized this. Now, do you have to treat people like they are subhuman? No. It's almost like standard procedure. If they don't move fast enough, like, because they like, you have 6 people, 7, 8 people surround a vehicle, and all of them are shouting in the car conflicting instructions. Somebody is like, put your hands on the wheel. Another person's like, take the seatbelt off. And then like, oh, wait. Well, okay, so that's not actually possible for me to put my hands on the wheel and take my seatbelt off. Which one do you want me to do? Stop resisting. And hold on, y'all, let me get this gas. Did y'all see the video of the disabled woman? This woman, she had traumatic brain injury. And like, she's on her way to her doctor's appointment. The woman got TBI. She's disabled. There's certain things she can't do. And they're all huddled around her car like ants, basically. I don't know if y'all ever kicked a fire ant nest. You kick a fire ant nest and you'll see like the large ants, they coming out, they ready to square up. You see the small ants, they ready to square up. All of the ants, their mindset is attack whatever just kicked our nest and get it and neutralize it, because our survival depends on it. And that's how it seems that these workers are operating. And for me, it's just like, this is unnecessary. It's unnecessary, but when you think about it, it actually is necessary. Because when you want to destabilize and put people in a constant state of fear, because it's not like the thing, like some people say, well, if you're here illegally, you don't have anything to worry about. But you do. You do. You do. You have a man that was trying to protect. Now this lady, she done failed. He ain't even like showing any aggression towards those guys. He's just trying to help her out. And they shot that man. They shot at him 10 times. I don't know how many times they hit him, but I know I heard 10 bullets. And it's just, it's insane. This guy is a public servant. He was a nurse, and he out here trying to help. And he had a gun. Like, it's not illegal to have a gun. Was he going for the gun? Like, did he, like, come on, man. Like, it shows the people that are in these positions are poorly trained. They're not ready. It's like when you have a war, it's what I imagine the Russian-Ukrainian situation is once you had all of the top tier fighters, they rotate out or they're deceased, then your training timelines get compressed, especially when you in there for a long time and you having massive losses. And so like whereas you used to invest X amount of dollars and X amount of time, because you're in a surge situation, you don't have that time. And so, okay, what is this saying? Let's see what you're talking about. Paul at Jesus Apostolic Church, Louisiana. Jesus is father-in-law and a great. Okay. Shout out to this man, Hype BE Up. He says Hammerhead. Okay. You feel better? I pinned you. There's literally 2 people. Well, it says 2 people. There's probably more people in that. It's probably less. Doesn't matter. But I hope you feel better after you got your piece off. You did your thing. Congratulations. Anything else you'd like to say? But anyway, when you want to like put everybody at fear, because that's what this is. It's like fear. You have these people that just like surround a vehicle and they swarm, and it's just insanity. But I just saw in the news where they were talking about redeploying the 700 federal workers. I'm like, why did you need 700 people to descend on Minnesota? And why is it that there's only people that are coming? Well, they actually have ICE in Alabama, is what I heard, which is a red state, interestingly enough. But it just, I don't know, man. It's surely the land of the free and the home of the brave. We can come up with something better, a different approach than this. The devil is rich and famous. Yeah. You good? Hype be up. Like, when you come into a small room, you don't have to be that kid that you wanted attention, and so you're going to act up and act out and show off so they pay you attention. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is engage like a civilized human being, because it's not a lot of people in here. So if you say something, like, there's no one here that's going to laugh with you. That's what the class clowns. Don't be a clown, okay? That's what I'm gonna say. Grow up, man up, okay? If you feel a certain way, you're entitled to your feelings. It's a free country. Say what you want to say, but I mean, if you don't have nothing good to say, what are we doing? You wasting both of our time. I said the first thing that came to my mind, and you know what? That's good. That's good. So let's riff off of that for a little bit. You say the first thing that come to your mind. Okay. So that strikes me as you have a problem with impulse control. And so, like, if you do the first thing that comes to your mind, every intrusive thought can't come to the light. This is where you have filters. So I don't know at what point that you didn't learn that, but what developmental stage, because that's what children do. So I need you to grow up, okay? Grow up and be respectful. And if you can't, step. I don't typically block people, but I do put people on timeout. So if you like to get in timeout, just go ahead and keep going on that vein. And we can do that. Nah, no issue with impulse control. This is social media. Okay. I do support ICE. I'm glad you asked. I support ICE in soda. I support ICE in water. I support ICE in music. Ice-T. Ice-T was the man. Ice-T was killing it back in the day. Ice Cube. Yeah, Ice Cube. Who knew this man when he started out from NWA, that he had all of them gifts and talents in him? Like, sure, he was a gifted rapper. Yes, he was probably. Was he the best rapper in NWA? Shoot, Ice Cube versus MC Ren. I don't know. That's debatable. But you definitely have an issue with impulse control. Oh, what's the topic? Okay, all right, okay, let's go. The topic was there was no topic. Initially we was talking about food reviews, and we kind of moved off of food reviews, and then we started going to news. He was the best rapper in NWA. Ice Cube? You saying Ice Cube was? Okay. So let me read you real quick. Hold on. I can't see. See, this is what they don't let you do. Yeah. Okay. Who is the weather on lyrics was the best in NWA? I don't understand what that means. Yeah. So yeah, Ice-T, I don't remember Ice-T. I ain't gonna lie, because I wasn't really listening to that gangster rap. But I like Ice-T in Law and Order. I did like Ice-T in Law and Order. Hey, he was really good. And another thing is Ice-T, like, something about his voice and his demeanor kind of remind me of my dad. And so I liked him. Do I support Donald Trump? I would say, to answer that question, I would say yes, indirectly. Why? As a military member, my job is to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. So necessarily, we don't pledge allegiance to people. We pledge allegiance to a document. That oath of office that we take, it was to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And so when you look at it through that lens, yes. My voice text was off. Oh, yeah, that autocorrect, talk to text. So here's the thing. When you do talk to text, especially when you are not speaking like the majority of the people that the product was developed on or was developed from, talk to text is not really that good because the sample size doesn't necessarily include people of color. And so when you speak in AAVE, it has a problem understanding. If you have an accent, it has a problem understanding you. But if you speak in government, oh, it's picking up everything that you put down. So I've done like videos on TikTok and stuff, and I'll do the closed caption, and it just says something totally different. I'm like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. What? Okay, I didn't say that. But it's okay. It is what it is. Maybe we can develop our own closed captioning and do something a little bit more inclusive, but I don't know. Inclusivity doesn't necessarily pay. It says, yeah, defend no matter who's in office. Our country needs to unite. Yeah, so, but you're not going to unite when you have division. That's not going to happen. You won't. And so the thing about this country is not everybody sees it the same. Not every Republican sees every issue the same. Not every Democrat sees every issue the same. And so you can be united like these United States of America, but you don't necessarily have to all say the same thing. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about democracy. You have a majority that dictates what it is. One of the frustrating things I would say is when you have, like right now, this is a time that the president, and the reason why the situation is like it is because you had majority in the Senate and the House, and they were Republican majority, and then you also had a Republican president. So that's the time when you just get all of your policies out. And then we can see, okay, all right, this is what it looks like when you guys right the ship. And then it's like, well, why the grocery prices so high? Was it that one of the things that you ran on, that you was going to lower the prices day one? Man, I was paying for a minute. I was paying like $7 for eggs. So pledge allegiance to the flag, not the president. That's right. And so like groceries are ridiculously expensive. The economy, all of these tariffs and stuff, it's the economy doesn't seem to be doing that well. Are we expected to pay more for American goods? Now here's the problem. You just got rid of like cheap labor by doing this, ICE deal. You're getting rid of cheap labor because Americans by and large are not going to do these jobs that you're getting these people out of the country that they're doing. They're not going to do those jobs. And if they do them, they're not going to do them for cheap. So I don't know. I don't think it's the right solution. Is amnesty the solution? I mean, honestly, if you look at things like who gave any person the right? This is you didn't make this world. How can you claim ownership? How can you put a line on something that you didn't make? Now you might have put infrastructure and paid to do all of that, but like the audacity of man to just be like, in this part right here, this is ours. Say who? But that's anarchy. And I realize, government, that's not what we doing. So, but these are things that I think about sometimes. I'm like, man, who says? Who says like, okay, let's revisit this. We're talking about illegally here. Okay, so did the native peoples, did they have some sort of law that established that you had to have citizenship? Because last time I checked, they were here first. I don't know, KW789. Don't know. That's a great question, though. But anyway, I just don't understand how you can have your history. Like, we all can see what the history of this country was. We all remember in the history books. What we do talk about is we talk about, you know, Thanksgiving. And over the first winter, they taught us, and I say us loosely, they taught the pilgrims how to survive, and then blah, 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 this and that. And they had food together. I'm like, is that really what happened? Because I feel like it was a little different than that. It was more like, get out the way. We're here now. This is ours. We're stronger than you. Might makes right. Fuel prices are lower. Man, I just paid $2.29 for my gas, but that was on base. I think in the general population, gas right now is running closer to like $2.50. So yeah, I'll drive out a little bit out the way to pay 30 cents less. Okay. But yeah, today's Friday, man. Thank God it's Friday. I had a good week. I like my job. I just don't like the politics involved sometimes with whenever you get into groups and people, there's politics, and there's like what's said, and then there's what's not said, and there's like favorites, and then there's not favorites, and I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little disillusioned at this point in the game. But one thing I would say is serving in the United States military was one of the best decisions I made, I believe. Even with the results being what they are. I don't know if I would have ever been able to be a homeowner of like 3 different homes. I don't think I would have did that without the military. I mean, I could have, but I just, not in 3 different states. That wouldn't have happened, because I would have just stayed in my home state all my life. Born there, raised there, and died there. But, you know, the military said, nah, go here. Okay, now go there. And after a while, it's just like, hey, let me buy something right here. And nah, don't sell that, keep it. Make money off of it. I don't think I ever would have done that without the military. So, anyway, I'm at the house, y'all. I got work to do. This yard is looking insane. We got to move. And there's a lot of things that needed to be prepared. So, yeah. Peace out, y'all.